Okay, we talked about women's football, of course, what is happening in women's football, the league, the national team, how well can we develop it? We'll be talking with Dilichukwu Onyedima, who happens to be the chairperson of the Women's League in Nigeria. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Ms. Cecilia.
Hey, good to have you on our show.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Okay, looking at what happened, let's start with what happened in Congo Brazzaville, the Super Falcons. Of course, no one expected them to actually lose 3 games in a row. It has never happened before. What do you think about their performance in Congo?
Yeah, what happened was that a lot of people didn't know what is happening with our national team. We have a very good team that represented the world in Canada. Shortly after, the other foreign clubs came to rush these girls and they took them away. And immediately we came back 2 weeks after that World Cup. We are supposed to be going for the World Olympic qualifying match in Equatorial Guinea. And these girls could not come back to play their match. So the coach who was asked to be taking care of these girls at the interim was not able to lay hands on our players. So what he did was to just go back to the league and pick few girls that are good to execute those matches. So that was what happened. Even before they entered that match, we know that we're going to have problems. And the same set of girls were the people that went for the All-African Games. You know, at times people will say, we are not doing enough. We are doing enough. We have players. We have produced considerable good players that represent the country. If you come to the league mandate is the production of players. And if you look at our under-17 and our under-20 players, you will see that they are very good talents. And it's this under-20 girls that will graduate to the national team. And when you graduate them to the national team, we need an expert technical advisor to translate or transform these talents into results, into world-class athletes that we are talking about. So, and that is why the president of NFF, I'm talking of Mr. Amaju Pinnick, is now sending people for match analysis. A lot of people have gone to London to learn how to do match analysis, how to read the match while the match is going. Because most matches now is won from the bench. If you don't have a good bench, if you have the best players in the world, you cannot do anything. And that was what happened to us, both in Canada and in all African games. Because these girls that we had were the best in Africa and one of the best in the world. He would have been in Canada to see how other coaches that came with other teams are scrabbling to see how to take these girls. And they succeeded in taking them away. So that's the problem. We are really doing the work and we are producing players. And what we need now is at the senior level for people to start harnessing this talent to give us results.
Now, you talked about experts, technical know-how, and you knew that these problems were there, before they went for Congo Brazzaville. So how come we couldn't address this? Because if a match is won from the bench and you feel we don't have good experts, why didn't NFF address this issue on time?
To tell you the truth, NFF has started addressing this issue immediately we came back from Canada. I remember the number of board meetings we had. This was one of the serious issues that we discussed. And again, the type of contracts that our girls sign. Because you find out that when you go to play these international matches, some other countries have their girls outside the country, but they come home. So why are we not getting our girls? So, and they kept telling us that the girls have free ITC, so we leave them to just leave and go anyhow. So NFF has already formed a committee to look into this. And you know that this committee has to work for a little period of time, at least a month or 2, before they'll be able to come up with something that we will do to stop these things. So seriously, or frankly speaking, the NFF is on top of this matter, and we are working towards it.
Okay, madam, you're talking about the NFF giving enough attention to women's football in Nigeria. The NFF, after a meeting about 3 weeks ago, confirmed that there should be a coach for the Super Falcons. Till today, no updates on that. What's going on?
Yeah, in fact, I played a role there because when that meeting was held and the information was given, I was in Congo. And immediately I saw it in my internet. I cried out. I said, no, that we are outside the country playing a crucial match. And there are people who are already, handling that coaching crew. It will be a distraction for you to announce bringing somebody to replace somebody who is already working. And at that moment, the person is on a serious national assignment. So I called the president, I called some board members, I said, if it will be possible, let's just, put a break to the announcement of a new coach or bringing a new coach for now. Let's finish with AWC so that if anything happens, we will know where the blame will go. And the president of NFF, Mr. Amaju Pinnick, being a listening ear, and practicing government of inclusion, always listening to me, and he quickly called people to called the movement to a halt. We stopped discussing about that while we allow the All African Games match to be finished.
Maybe that would have actually served as a little distraction for the girls, because most of them would have heard the news, of course, going through the internet and all that, and also the coach. Now, that aside, the league, of course, this season was an abridged version. We have about 14 fixtures, and in that fixtures, we have about 23 walkovers. What happened?
Yeah, I was listening to you, and I was like, how can you be saying this? Because you are a good analyst, and I love listening to you from time to time. But I expect at times when we want to go to the studio to give some of these impressions, we should call the Women League Secretariat. We have a secretariat. Apart from that, the fact that you said we have 23 walkovers, how many matches did we play? It means we didn't play at all. We didn't have 23. You have to call our secretariat to balance your impression or whatever that you have gathered from the site. It's the secretariat that will actually give you the correct information on women football. And I also had, when you said there was no board, no, we have a board. Women League has a board, National League has a board, Nationwide League has a board, as well as the Premier League board. We all have boards. So saying that we don't have a board and we don't have a committee, have you forgotten that in NFF we have Women League committee, Women Football Committee?
How functioning are these committees? Because that's the big question. Are they really functioning? Because when we're looking for information concerning Women's League, it's always very difficult. So you start calling the media officers. They are the ones who actually come up with information.
If I see any call, if I'm not there to receive the call, I'll call back, whether I know your number or not, because I know a lot is going on in women football. We are not as old as the men. The men have started some more than 40 years ago. So we started less than 15 years ago, and we are making progress. I love the fact that you people are commending women football, because with the little attention we are getting from the environment or the stakeholders that are surrounding us, we've been able to keep Nigeria on top. If you're listening to the FIFA ranking, 1st of October, about some days ago, Nigeria is ranked first in Africa, while the men are ranked 10th.
But they dropped about 9 places. 9 places in world ranking.
Yeah, who?
The Super Falcons, they dropped 9 places in FIFA ranking.
No. We are 34th. We are 34th in ranking. So if we are number 1 in Africa, how can we drop 9 places? So who is taking the places?